Hi, Julie.
Good morning. I'm the Reverend Julianne Lepp. It's so great to be with you this morning. It's hard to believe that it's already almost the end of October and Halloween is almost here. Even though we had snow in Wisconsin, and it's been great to look around and see everybody's pumpkins. And I know our religious exploration folks are going to have a pumpkin contest. So if you have any of our RE families, if you have a pumpkin that you want to share a picture, you should get that to Amy Johnson, our RE coordinator. I'm the Reverend Julianne Lepp. I'm minister of this congregation. Welcome to our virtual services. We'll be doing virtual services at least through May 2021. And we appreciate so much all the effort that goes into keeping us together while we are apart. We're glad you joined us this morning for our Fallen Leaf service. Our words for opening this morning are from the Unitarian Universalist minister, Meg Barnhouse. She says, I want to let this lesson sink into me. Celebrate being alive, drawing breath. Celebrate that you are achingly sad today and that it will pass. It is good to be able to feel feelings. Celebrate that there is a love so big that it can hurt to lose it. That there was a time so sweet that you ache remembering it. Honoring the ache in your heart and the tears falling. Life is mostly ordinary time shot through with light and pain and love. All Souls, Samhain, Halloween. Our Fallen Leaves service recognizes that these days are no ordinary days. Every year, these traditions put us in touch with our own mortality, the changing of the seasons and the passage of time. They remind us of the precious gift that each breath brings us, and it gives gratitude for all that is. Come, let us worship together. Our opening music this morning, our music for gathering, will be from Linda Luttrell. And she's going to be sharing the Spirit of Life music that Nate's going to share with us now.
Good morning. I'm Patty Cleary, and I'm with the Harvest Auction. We are on our way to having an awesome harvest auction. So I'm going to share the site with you while I make my announcement. Ooh, here we go. So what's coming up? Well, the harvest auction is on November 14th. The last day that we want you to make donation contributions is this Saturday, the October 31st. So on Halloween is our sort of deadline, so that we have a couple of weeks to organize and get everything ready. You can purchase tickets on the website, and that will allow you to get a Zoom link. And it's going to be a lot of fun. We're planning to have a lot more entertainment for this harvest auction. If you could see that, you know, we're trying to be realistic for the amount of income that this will generate, but we really want to have a special party for everybody and to enjoy ourselves. We've got some dessert add-ons. There's no concerns about your food kind of thing. And then we've got an allergy-friendly and a vegan option here. And we also have a party package where we have, you know, a little set of wine glasses that are designed by Tracy Hirsch, and that should, you know, add to the festivities. We will have the catalog available for people, so you can just go through the website to see what donations are already there. And some of these things will go to silent auction, some of them will get in the live auction, and you know, we sort that stuff out kind of late, so you could just keep checking in with this to see what's up there now, and thinking about what you could add. If you have donated an item or you filled out the form and we don't have that item yet, we're going to have, you can go to the church tomorrow on Monday the 26th from 1 to 3 when Julie is there, or 4:30 to 6. And Jane Redmond and Pat Bonner will be there. Otherwise, you know, if you're still thinking of things or you're finishing up something, you know, and you send a form in by Halloween, you can always contact Jane Redmond about arranging to drop that item off. And you can even drop it off at her house and she will, you know, organize that with you. So if you don't know her information, you can always find it through the UUC directory. And if you don't know how to get to the UUC directory, just ask Christy, and she can give you the code and all that. Lastly, another thing that we're doing to kind of liven things up, I'm going to stop sharing my screen. Last thing I'm going to do liven things up is that, you know, because we're all in our houses and we've got, you know, whatever strange Zoom backgrounds, like, you know, I have an oscilloscope. I'm really proud of this one. But we can do, we want people to send us a picture of them dressed up. So maybe you've got your little top hat that you want to wear and your little scarf. Oh no, I'm not good about this. See, if I just take a picture, then it's not as live action. Oh, see, look how much fancier I am. So you could just share that little picture with Pat Bonner, and we're going to have them a part of the slideshow so that we kind of spruce it up a little bit and make ourselves fancy for the event. So looking forward to celebrating our congregation with you, and just keep thinking of things that you can donate and attend. Thanks.
Amanda, you're still muted.
Aha, we had that issue of me being muted, but I'm on the phone. Okay, I think that's better. So my name is Amanda Lonsdorf, and I am the past president on the UUC board. And I just wanted to welcome everybody to the Unitarian Universalist congregation this morning. And we're a religious community who commit ourselves to diversity. And we hope to nourish human difference, those of gender, race, age, ability, sexual orientation, political views, culture, class, and religious belief. We welcome all those who treasure freedom of conscience in the search for truth. And we promise to do our best to provide you a spiritual home. And we extend a special welcome to all of our visitors today. And we hope that you will follow the UUC Facebook page and stay tuned for other events, like you heard about the harvest auction, or our wonderful Wednesdays and Sunday morning meditation. There are also religious exploration classes for adults and small groups for support and interests like our book club. Also, families can join the UUC Religious Exploration Facebook page, and there are religious exploration classes for 4K to 9th grade and youth group every Wednesday online for middle school and high school. So we're glad that you joined us today. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Krister Pakkonen, and I will be lighting this chalice on the cold, snowy morning that we have again, flurries, unfortunately. And I'll also be reading these words by V. Abbott. As the days grow shorter and darker, as the leaves fall from the trees, and as the vegetation dies, our thoughts turn from the warm, long days of summer toward the winter that lies ahead. Since ancient times, people have marked this turning of the year by lighting a flame in memory of those who have died and in faith that the light will return.
Hi, I'm Dawn.
I'm Josh.
Okay, and we're going to read This Sacred Thread by Heather K. Januels. They once dwelled among us, the people of memory, they who knew us, they who taught us, they who heard us, they who loved us. They touch our lives time and again through their presence and their absence, through familiar scents and favorite songs, through old stories and renewed sorrow.
As the earth turns and leaves fall, we reach back to renew the bonds between us. With hearts and hands open, we hold on to love, ever stronger than death. We reach back in gratitude and understanding without our time together. The pain and the joy, we would never be who we are today. We would have little to pass on ourselves.
Without fear, with thanksgiving, and with hope for all that awaits. We remember those who have gone before. We honor the circle of life and death, and are placed within this sacred thread.
All right, I'm gonna adjust this so you guys can actually see what I'm doing. There we go. Okay, so I have a reading for you all that is called COVID-19 Grief and Gratitude Ritual. Switch this so I'm talking into the microphone. And I'll be lighting candles during this. You're welcome to join me at any point. You'll have cues to do so. The impact of COVID-19 pandemic is real for all of us. And whether we are touched by it directly or indirectly, some of us know people who have the virus, and its impact is getting closer as we learn second cousins or friends of friends who have died from COVID-19. This morning, we share a ritual to recognize the deaths due to COVID-19, to note the particular pain of grieving in isolation, as well as to lift up gratitude for all those frontline workers, healthcare workers, grocery store workers, janitors, and domestic workers. So here we have candles, and again, you may wish to light your own with us if you're welcome to do so safely. So will you join me now in lighting these candles of grief and gratitude? And I invite you to join me in saying at home, we light this candle. And then I will say a few words and then invite people to name names in the chat of anyone that they would like to honor during that time for that candle. So the first one starts off with, we light this candle. And so say that together. We light this candle. There we go. I know they light. I checked this morning. We light this candle in honor of all those working on the front lines in hospitals, nursing homes, grocery stores, and gas stations. And I invite you now to name any of those folks that you want to honor in chat that you know are those frontline workers today. And we light this candle. We light this candle to send our love to those dying in isolation, especially those we know and those who are loved by those we know. And I again invite you to name those names in the chat who you would like to honor who have died of COVID-19. We light this candle. We light this candle to send our love to all those grieving deaths of all causes. And I invite you now to name whoever you have permission to in the chat, those you know who are grieving. We light this candle. We light this candle in recognition of the enormity of this pandemic and the impact on each of us, on those we love, on everyone, especially those already challenged by poverty, racism, transphobia, ableism, xenophobia, and so much more. And we light this candle. We light this candle in grief, in honor, in recognition, and most of all, in love. Thank you all. Blessed be.
Winds be still, storm clouds pass and silence come. Peace grace this time with harmony. Fly, bird of hope, and shine, light of love, and in calm let all find tranquility. Bird fly high, lift our gaze toward distant view, help us to sense life's mystery. Fly high and far, and lead us each to see how we move through the winds of eternity. Light shine in, illuminate our inward view, help us to see with clarity. Shine bright and true, so we may join our songs in new sounds that become full symphony.
Well, welcome back, everybody. And I do have a reflection to share with you today. I know my camera might not turn on right away, so don't worry, it just takes a second. So I'll share with you my reflection for the service today. At this time of year, I tend to start thinking of the shift between light and dark, and the feeling those aspects of my spirit shift with it. As we walk in the dark part of the year, I remember to hold on to the light. It is the same as difficult times in our lives. In those hardest of times, when I start to feel numb or my mental vision narrows to only what's immediately most needed, and my body might go into survival mode, and everything feels like it may be closing in, I remember and reach out for the light, the hope, and the connections to others and to my community who are all here with me today. In times of loss of loved ones, upheavals in our personal lives, and the grief over inequality and injustice in the world, these are the times we hold our flickering flame dear and close. To be able to nourish the warmth in heavy times, we give space for sharing our grief, our loss, our worry, our fears, and our deepest hearts with each other here. In our general society, there aren't many places that we can freely and openly share our hearts in a space that is truly safe or feel supported. Our society often tells us to just buck up or be happy or you'll bring others down, or that you can only grieve for a short period of time and then you have to get over it. That's not happy or healthful for our hearts. Our community is a place that holds space for all those feelings and parts of ourselves that may not be able to be shared in the larger society, and a place that I can find strength and my spark when it is weakest, to be inspired to continue to light the flame and shine my light for myself, my family, and others. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Erna Kelly, and this is a reflection on the phrase, light more ancient than imagining. In the beginning was the word, or maybe in the beginning was the light, more ancient than imagining. Yet for millennia, men and women have imagined its beginning. People have believed, and many still believe, God said, let there be light. That would still privilege the word. God had to give the command. More recently, the Big Bang Theory posits an explosion that shattered the dark, scattering light throughout space, stars exploding, stars dying. We see their image. We imagine their existence, a body where now there is none. Light is light, lighter than a feather, fragile, easily blocked by solid bodies or bent by a clear solid body like a prism. Light glances off surfaces, and without it, we can hear, smell, taste, feel our surroundings, each other, ourselves. But as being so geared to the visual, it's difficult for those of us sighted to imagine a world without light. And because it is so important to us, we have found over the centuries a way to light up our nights. Candles, kerosene, gas lamps, electric, fluorescent, sodium lights. We light up our nights so much, it is difficult to see the stars. Some call this light pollution. But for me, and I suspect many others, my favorite light is from our nearest star. We savor daylight. Home hunters look for houses that let in sunshine. Gardeners look for sunny plots. We celebrate the summer solstice and even the winter solstice because, having crawled into the deepest part of December's dark cave, we know the next day we will begin to crawl out again toward the sun. Autumn light is mellow and brilliant, creating gem-like gleams on apples or leaves. But like the leaves, it will be leaving or diminishing, moving toward the grays of November, the dark of December. I love light. I also love its fading. The glow from angled sunlight just before sunset, and sunset itself, of course. But I also love its fading at twilight, and often watch until the last wisp of gray turns to black. Without the dark, how could we even know light? Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Laurel Kiefer, and I'm also have a small essay on the light, and it's from the phrase, lift our faces to let it find us. Let the light find us. Shadows lengthen each passing day. Dawn and dusk journey towards a central meeting place. Head bent with quickened pace, we rush to complete the garden, pasture, and field work. Intensity and attention to task overcasts the moment and the message of light that dances in the leaves and goes unnoticed. 1 or 2 weeks of splendid color is all we get before the rain and the wind of upcoming winter wake us up from the driven stupor. Lifting our faces from the travail, the light finds us. Golden birches, fire orange maples, deep burgundy oaks, and the forest green pines all beckon us to lift our faces and embrace the light. The sparkling clear pond shoots blinding reflections of the bright blue sky and billowing snow white clouds. If a tree bursts with fall color and we see it not, where is the beauty of the light? I have done nothing to create this, nothing to encourage this, and nothing to perpetuate it. I have only to lift my face and open my eyes and heart.
Thank you, Laurel.
Good morning. I'm Martha Munger. I wrote the following reflection in response to the phrase, bend our bodies to follow the arc. Bending to follow the arc of shortening days is a challenge every year. This year, repeatedly, I am in the middle of cooking dinner, or all the food is ready to serve when Dawn asks, are the cats in? Darn! Dusk, when I should have called them, has crept right past while I was busy. Our fur babies are out there in the dark with the coyotes. And since they are also reluctant to bend to shorter days, they will celebrate the night by leading us a merry chase to get them in. Pip will appear by the lighted doorway, only to scoot around the house when we reach for him. Or we will spot him sitting on a wood pile, just listening to us call and whistle and call. In the morning, Fievel, our heavy sleeper, now wakes up and starts meowing an hour before dawn. That role used to be Pip's, who at least was quiet as he pulled my hair. Perhaps the fact that Pip now sleeps in is an indication of his entrance into middle age, his body bending to follow another arc. The cats are struggling to follow the arc of temperature that follows the arc of the sun. Going out and coming in are increasingly points of indecision. That first morning shock of cold air is occasion for much paw shaking. Me, I have the advantage of the weather app on my cell phone. I can prepare mentally and physically to meet the cold. When we are finally out in the cool fall air, the cats and I, we can take our daily walk along the creek, up through the woods, between the pines, and out into the overgrown fields without sweating or panting. We walk more efficiently than in summer, with less to stop and look at, fewer smells and bird calls, no more flowers and mushrooms. I pick up a few leaves, grasping the last color of the year, and wonder how the cats will fare when the arc bends further and I put on my snowshoes.
Thank you, Martha. So usually when we do our fallen leaves service, we are gathered together in our sanctuary, and Jane has often put up the lovely vines, and each person is given a leaf, and you write down the name of those you wish to remember. And sometimes people write down a pet or a loved one. And this year, some of the RE children got these in their packets, and they did write down some of the names. And going to encourage you during the Music for Giving, if you'd like to write down a name to share, whether it is a person, a pet, and you can maybe suggest the legacy that that person has left you, and the gift that was given from this person or being that was in your life. You know, it's difficult to go through this time of year in this sort of time apart, but it's been lovely to find ways to connect, and I hope you'll enjoy our music that will be during the giving from Laurel and Julia Brown, and also some of the photos that were shared of people that had passed. With gratitude for the abundance in our lives, we give to help people in need and support the work of this congregation. Our 50/50 Share the Plate this month is the Eau Claire Homeless District Program and Area District Program. And this is such a great way to support children who might need supplies. Or I know Danny Klaskus told us this summer about how they support field trips and school fees. And it's such an amazing thing that, that we can support this month. You can donate online, or you can also text to give at 84321. You can also mail checks to the UUC address at 421 South Farwell Street. With gratitude for the abundance in our lives, we give to help those in need and to help each other. Thank you so much. Thank you. We will share the reading of the names now. We remember Alta Bragg for determination and laughter. We remember Great Aunt Charmaine Benke, Grandpa Carl Lonsdorf, and Mary Jane. And I apologize if I mispronounce names. I'll do my best. We remember Alta Bragg, open, honest, and caring. We remember my sister Paula from Erna. We remember Jennifer's mother's companion of 16 years, her cat Mimi. For fallen leaves, we lift up Maya Chippewa ancestors, Grabachat Grandma, Jack Grandpa, Marilyn Crabb at Clifford Gripstone, Mitch, Alyssa, Sue, Dominic Brown, Betty, Donna, Mohique, LaPointe, and Uncle Larry, Lily, a dog. We lift up all those who are suffering and dying without the comfort of loved ones due to COVID. My grandma, Sharon Soybert. Carol Schoen, so kind and loving. We lift up Krister's mother, Elvira, grateful for the love she shared with all. We name Sock, Pepper, and Samson, Rufus, furry companions to my in-laws. We lift up Arthur, Esther, Andy, and Warren, family remembered every day. We lift up Ojibwe ancestors. We lift up Tom Kiefer, spirit lives on. Let's see here. We lift up Bob Mowry, a great older brother. We lift up Marcia, Jacob's daughter, who was a UU all of her short life, and her brother gone at the age of 12. I'm going to check our Facebook feed also. We're thinking of Warren Bowe. Hopefully I'm pronouncing his name correctly. We think of Sue's dad, Vernon, his legacy, love, hugs, think things through, help others, and pay it forward. It was a joy to be with Vernon. We lift up Eileen Maria Beadle, her love, legacy, compassion, and social justice. Thank you so much to all who have shared. We also have a few more here. Our dads, Sam Persky and Roger O'Brien. This is shared by Susan. Our mom, mother-in-law, Marge, and stepmom, Oren. Hopefully I'm saying that correctly. We remember these names and hold them sacred. And love to many of you in this place, whether in Zoom, online, or in the circle of our community. Amen and blessed be. Now we're going to move to our chalice extinguishing with Krister Packanen. Thank you.
I want to thank everyone for a beautiful service today. It's been really heartwarming in this cold time that we live in. So I will extinguish the chalice, and you can join me in reading this if you have the text. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again.
I also want to thank everyone for being with us today and with sharing, a piece of your heart with us in chat or just by your presence now in this moment or after while watching the recording. And for those of you watching from our Facebook live stream, I'm really glad that you joined us today. And if you'd like information on how to join services in Zoom, you can just contact the UUC office. And those attending Zoom will take a few brief moments of joys and concerns and share names that you might not have been comfortable sharing during the service, the recorded portion. And then we'll move on to our breakout rooms afterwards for discussion and community. So I have our closing words today, and they are, the title is, They Are With Us Still by Kathleen Teague. In the struggles we choose for ourselves, in the ways we move forward in our lives and bring our world forward with us, it is right to remember the names of those who gave us strength in the choice of living. It is right to name the power of hard lives well lived. We share a history with those lives. We belong in the same motion. And we too are strengthened by what had gone before. And they too were drawn on by the vision of what might come to be. Those who lived before us, who struggled for justice and suffered injustice before us, have not melted into dust, have not disappeared. They are with us still. The lives they live hold us steady. Their words remind us and call us back to ourselves. Their courage and love evoke our own. We, the living, carry them with us. We are their voices, their hands, and their hearts. We take them with us, and with them choose the deeper path of living.